Alright, timestamp. July 29th to 2026. It's about 2:15 in the morning. I'm tired. Got up early. We went to George and packed some stuff, mowed lawn. Behold my new crimson look. Um, the grass was high enough to where it actually killed the battery for the lawnmower twice. And we still actually have like one little strip down the side that's not dealt with. We're going to go back in a couple days, bring another carload home. Pix was pulling out some stuff that she wanted, filled the car. Got the other litter robot that she had there for her two cats. So she set that up in the master bedroom here at Leo a little while ago. She's been passed out for a couple hours now. We got home probably about 9 p.m. Car behaved fairly well, so I think we can get away with car trips for a bit. We are going to be getting a U-Haul probably next week. The slightly bigger than an ambulance size one, I think. Nothing crazy, but we can load up some bigger boxes, some of the large size totes, medium totes, stack them to the ceiling kind of thing, maybe some furniture pieces. Maybe get the fridge and the freezer here, actually. That might be a good thing to get on that particular truck. I can set them up out there because I'm about at the point where I can set them up out there. Yeah, we could do that. Did meet with one of the prospective buyers. I am aggravated. So we've been approached by this particular family, between Pix and myself, probably 3 times now. I realized my thumb was off camera. 3. Not W, 3. With sign language, I've gotten very much in the habit of this being 3 because this is W. Even though in some World War II movies that may get you shot. I guess there's like a European versus American way of doing it typically. I forget which way it was, but it was, Was it Inglourious Basterds? I think where that was like some kind of a weird tell that the person wasn't what they were saying that they were. Anyway, I digress. 3 times in the past year, hey, when you get ready to sell the place, let us know. We're interested. Do you ever get told that kind of thing, and when you actually do talk to the person, you're not sure if they're actually serious or if they think that you're stupid? You know what I mean? So it is basically a 1,300 square foot house. Needs work, we know that. It's on a 1/4 acre lot. There's work all around that needs to be done. Good location, Hillsborough County. He offered me $100,000. And I was like, sorry, 100,000? Like in this area, if this lot had a repaired house, whatnot, it would go for like $350. And he's like, well, I mean, there haven't been any sales in this area for quite a while, so I don't really have anything to compare with. I'm like, okay, so you're gonna, okay. No, absolutely not. It's like, well, I mean, I'd have to put some work into it. I'm like, you have to put $250,000 worth of work into it? Well, I'm sorry, I was expecting a serious offer. I feel like you're trying to hustle me at this point. I'm like, you know what? Once I gave him what my lowest was. I'm like, this is my lowest. Um, Here's the thing: you can. That's what I'm willing to take right now because it'll allow me to skip a few steps. Selling it as is, I won't have to get contractors out there to repair whatnot. I can just, basically walk away and start dealing with the other buckets of poop that I'm currently holding. I told the guy, I'm like, look, when my dad finally passes, which is probably going to be this year, and I have access to all of the resources of my family kingdom, as it were, um, I can spend the 50 or 100,000 that it's going to take to restore the place, and then sell it for 350, maybe even 4, because that's what the market value is for this house, this location. He's like, well, I haven't been able to verify those numbers, you know. So, I mean, if you can show me where that's a thing, then, maybe I change my mind. But right now, I'm like, I'm not going to change my mind. If that's your top offer, he's like, well, how much do you have in it? I'm like, well, the mortgage was right around 60,000, which we started that in 1998. It's a 30-year mortgage that I'm basically paying off, like this month, next month. Like a year and a half early. He's like, okay, so you put 200,000 into it. I'm like, closer to 3. And I'm not necessarily looking to get that back. That's not, you know what my lowest is. But your offer is really low. It's really low. Like, you know what my offer is, or because it'll take us a little while. We're going to have contractors come out and redo, the siding, plumbing, stuff like that. Or in a year and a half or whatever, when we're done fixing the place up, you can pay $350. That's fine. Because I'll sell it at $350. I will. So I am aggravated. Just like, are you trying to hustle me? Is it because we look like, the house is banged up and you're like, oh, these are trashy people, are desperate? I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. And I get that you have the resources where you can just casually offer $100,000. I don't have those problems. But, and this is not to sound cocky, when my dad passes, I could. And I've thrown some lower offers here and there on things like on eBay, Somebody wants $20 for a toy, I might offer 12 or 14. And they say no, but I'll take 16, and I say it sounds great. You know what I mean? But I don't make an offer of $20 for a $100 item when I can look at it and say, that's worth $100. I don't do that. Because it's rude, frankly. But yeah, it was just, really? Yeah, I'm stepping over you, Sammy. So, is that okay with you? And the picture was like, you know what? I really hope the other family gives us the minimum. Because if they do, we're taking it. Absolutely. Like, I don't know. try to get a hold of them. We're gonna have multiple chances. They're like, a neighbor pretty much. So. But yeah, any repairs we get done between now and full listing in probably a year and a half. It's gonna take us a while because, damn, my calls are full. He will be billed for any repairs. You know what I mean? If we spend $10,000 getting the plumbing worked out, my minimum does go up $10,000. So act now. And the guy's an architect. He knows people. He can probably get stuff done cheaper than I can. You know what I mean? I don't know people in the industry. I know a few in like Bradenton, but not anybody here. It's the one downside to having had a shop down in Manatee County, which is south from where I am. I know people in all kinds of lines of work, because we had a shop there for 10 years. Actually have a pretty good reputation in the community down there. I am known. But I don't know. I mean, I know people in various industries. I don't know if there are contacts there that I can rely on, should attempt to make. I don't know. This particular wound is a little fresh, so. And I absolutely gave him a hard. Wait, what? No, that's not even close. No, I was expecting a serious offer. Nope. That is nope country. So, and that may be him doing the whole, I'm going to really lowball him at first, and then I'm going to maybe increase it a little bit, but I think they're desperate to sell. We're not desperate to sell. We're not desperate to sell. So, personally, I think he's made a miscalculation there. He's got my phone number. He may even call me tomorrow and say, you know what, I looked into it and I could do your minimum. You know what I mean? It might be I'm going to see if they squirm a little bit. And I got it for that price. I can make a lot of money on it. I understand you want to make money, but you're going to pay me a little bit closer to market value for what it is. Because even that property with the house banged up technically is kind of appraised according to the various sites out there, Zillow, Realtor, all those kind of places. I ran the equations. It's still worth about $300,000 as is, with the idea that someone can come in and spend $50,000, maybe more, and have that $400,000 home value-wise, right? And I'm not even asking $300,000 right now. Way lower, but higher than $100,000. It's just insulting. So, but it may be a lowball offer to try and grab that deal. And you grabbed air. I'm annoyed. But I'm drinking good coffee. We're on the roller coaster. Doing some of the Aldi, the Barissimo. It's the vanilla cream brulee. And it's satisfying after a day like this. I was spending the day with my girl though, which was cool. And we were squeezing stuff in cars and doing lawn work and other stuff that no one really wants to do, but we were doing doing it together, and for a good cause. So it's cool. But yeah, that was. Mm, mm, mm. I think Pix was more pissed than I was. I mean, I knew there might be some shenanigans. I didn't think he was going to lowball me that hard, though. Mind you, my minimum is still my minimum, but I wasn't expecting, I'll give you $1. I wasn't expecting that. Exactly, that was my brain. I don't know. I know I'm not doing it for that price, though. Nope. I understand how the hustle works. I'm not sure totally where his head is. I think that might have been an opening move for, that kind of, because it was kind of a, well, I mean, I could offer this. That's really what I can do. You know what I mean? That kind of like, well, I only really have $20 on me, so, if you're not willing to take $20, then you're just not going to sell it. But here's the thing, I will sell it. That kind of, like, fear of missing out or whatnot, that's not going to work. I don't know that he knows that, though. He doesn't really know me. Eye's been bothering me since mowing the lawn. I think I kicked some stuff, up. Removing a small jungle and all. But mostly pulled stuff that she was lacking because, she just kind of brought the one carload here. She's been experiencing life the way I did my first week or two here. And I just had a carload of boxes, and 3 days later she brought another carload of boxes, and, trying to go through it like Tom Hanks on the beach. What's in this one? Crap. This is all stuff that I don't quite need yet. I'll need this in a month. I don't need it this second. Where are my jeans? That kind of thing. So she was able to more tactically say, I want this, I want that, I want this. Her eyes were a little bigger than the car, but there were some boxes she wanted to bring that weren't going to happen. But I know I fit more in the car than she was expecting me to be able to do. But I'm real good at packing from a spatial sense standpoint. I can make every nook and every cranny work. And I said, well, the only thing I asked was, because the litter robot was kind of in the passenger seat behind me, I said, just underneath it, the floor to the base of the litter robot, let that be my space for just those, not my space, although I do wonder how Tom is doing. I haven't talked to him in like 10 years. But I wanted, a little bit of room for some of those things that I might see that I'm like, kind of been wanting you to bring that to me for over a year, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that real quick. Those things, of which there are frankly many, but I narrowed it down to what I could squoze right there. And I did get one of my nicer canes and my my Nodachi. Well, one of my Nodachis, my favorite Nodachi, because I felt naked. I felt naked without him. It's true. For years and years, for what this is worth, for years and years I've kept my Nodachi next to my bed. And for a year and change, my Nodachi's not there. I have a variety of Pew Pews because of my dad, but it's not the same. My Nodachi is much quieter than any of my dad's Pew Pews. One of my favorite kind of melee weapons, I guess would be the way to put it. And I'm actually good with it. Show you my walking stick. We only emptied the back seat. We were kind of whipped. The kids helped, but she kind of wants a minute to be able to actually like put those things that she brought in away-ish before bringing in the trunk, because the trunk is full. We've got a full berth back there. But I did my walking stick. I had slid in the back seat, my Nodachi's in the trunk, so I'm a morning away from having my Nodachi again. But did get my walking stick out. Well, one of them. I have a bunch. I have been known. Hi, Sammy. How you doing? Yeah, I'm not going to bed yet, so don't come lay under the couch and start screaming at me. I have been known to collect more Victorian accoutrements. I also have some top hats and some derbies and things of that nature. I have some long coats. I've always liked playing dress up. I look quite good in Victorian, actually. And that was even before I fell in love with Jekyll and Hyde. Which I would still like to do. I would like to play Henry John Albert Jekyll. And no, I don't know what it is with me and my predilection for like mad scientist roles. I'm not sure. It's curious to me. But I do tend to like them and gravitate towards them. Very strange. True story. Yeah, found a found a box of hats in the master bedroom for reasons that I don't know. At Leo, not at George. We know what's at George. Found this guy on the floor. Little rocket action there. I'm not certain if he was mine, one of the kids, but they've kind of grown out of all that stuff. He'll go in my Marvel box because that's a pretty good looking rocket right there. Action figure wise, decent. I snagged him and tucked him in my Scooby-Doo backpack. My Scooby-Doo backpack. But yeah, most of the hats, they all need to be cleaned in one way or another, and some of them don't fit a fat head, but one of them does, and it pleased me. It's even a London fog. They're usually pretty nice. Well, I had a London fog trench. I don't know if I still have it or not, but not bad. It's got some little bit of schmutz on it, but I can clean that. It's very nice. Mind you, currently I have nowhere to hang my hat. Guess that means this isn't home. Samuel Mutton Chops. Make a hole, sir. Oh, and I'm inconveniencing you. I apologize. Quit hogging the kibble. Yeah, I picked up all the Doctor Who Blu-ray and DVDs that we've got there because I want to compare with what's here. Hang up my backpack. Thank you. Because I wanted to go through and compare because I was pretty sure I had duplicates. Getting them all in one place, you know, it's kind of helpful to be able to go, ooh, I have two of that. Like I have a full DVD and a full Blu-ray set of Matt Smith, so I don't need that. It's 5th series, so it's basically one season. The 11th Hour. That's actually Matt Smith's first season, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be right, because season 5, or series 5, because we're talking English, because Eccleston was 1, and then Tennant had 3 seasons, so he would have been 2 through 4. So yeah, that's Matt Smith's first season. And I apparently have an extra copy of Eccleston. So those I will sell. Yeah, and Eccleston, I think I have a DVD set and a Blu-ray set, and I think Matt Smith, I have a full DVD and a full Blu-ray set too. Which, cool. Yeah, the Blu-rays look better, but not every player on Planet 3 is a Blu-ray player. Some of them are just DVD players that are out there, right? So I've never actually tried to plug in a Blu-ray disc into a DVD player, but my understanding is it doesn't work. But a DVD will play in a Blu-ray player. At least I've never had a problem with that. It'll usually do both, but you get the gist. But those, they're redundant, so I will look up pricing. The packages on them are a little banged up, so I'm not going to ask for $350,000 because I'm aware that it's not worth $350,000, and I don't plan on restoring the cases. You know. Yeah, I know. It's sticking with me. And the dude's mom even said, "Oh yeah, no, he's interested." I'm kind of hoping she calls me. What happened? Well, I thought you said he was going to make me a serious offer, that he was serious about this. He offered me 100. He's either trying to hustle me or he's not actually serious, so I'll just do it. It's kind of an insult, actually. You know, I don't have to sell. I don't have to sell. Because she knows my situation more than he does. You know, I'm around the corner from, and this isn't me bragging, I'm around the corner from an inheritance. I don't have to sell for less than I should take. I don't have to. It's nice to be in that position, and I'm in that position. So, huh. That will, in fact, be a one other thing that I got, I'm probably going to take it out of the box because the box is already pretty banged up anyway. But I've been wanting to get one because I couldn't remember if I already had one. So, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Going into the garage. Sleeping cat break. That's Janus, my tripod. He was spooning with Scrappy earlier. It was adorable. So there's a company out there called FCTRY. It's like factory without the vowels. And they make what they call real life action figures. They make political action figures. Sort of caricatured political. And I wanted to get a Bernie because I thought it'd be funny to have I have some of these already. I have an AOC, I have Ruth Bader Ginsburg, because I'm a raging progressive liberal. Yes, I'm woke. Red caps are so stupid. But in going through, because I have some of my toys here. The box on that one's really banged up. But I have, you're out of water. Kaiser, let me take care of this, sir. I'm sorry. Sammy keeps gorging on the food and water. Let me amend this situation. That in a minute. It's more than I can do with 1.5 hands. Yeah, other people can drink water, Sammy. You go over there and try and empty that bowl, the beatings will commence. So, I've got some of my toys here and some of my toys still at George. Some of them are in the attic, some are in the master bedroom at George. Alright, we ran a shop for 9 years, a hobby shop. Picked up a lot of toys. I've always picked up toys. It's a thing. I've called the 800 number. Nothing helps. Here's the situation with that. There are some things I absolutely know whether I have it or do not have it. And if you're a collector, you may be able to relate with what I'm getting at here. There are some things I know that I would want one, but I can't tell you for certain whether or not I actually acquired one. Full disclosure. So I wasn't sure if I actually had a Bernie figure, but I have a box here with some of. I have a Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I have an AOC. They apparently did a Zelensky. I would love to get a Zelensky. My God. A Bard King that is just kicking ass. Represent. Yeah, not all bards, because our guy, you would probably have to classify. I would classify him as a bard because he's kind of a thief con artist, so it's kind of in the bard category. It's just evil alignment. They exist, you know. Anyway, I digress again. They did do that guy in an orange jumpsuit, which tickled me. I have one of those. To God's ears, you know. But that's my leg, sir. You have to buy me dinner if you're gonna. I am not free. I got so titillated I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, I couldn't remember which ones I had and didn't have, and there was no Bernie in the box. Do you mind? Thanks. So I wasn't. I'm like, and there's some other vendors on eBay because you can get stuff on eBay and Amway. I'm selling some Amway things that I found from my mom. Got Amway on the brain. Yes, my family, my parents did Amway way back when. Yeah. Of course they did. Um, Amazon. You can find just about anything between eBay and Amazon. And you can throw Etsy in there if you want. Mercury. So there were two on eBay that I was watching. One was in box and one was loose. The loose one, honestly, if I come into, there's a couple of things that if I sell, I might grab it because it's going to be like cheap, like $8 with shipping included. Guy's not asking much for it because most people want in-box serious collectors. Rah, rah, rah. But then again, I may just not even bother because that box is kind of banged up anyway, so I may just pull it out of the box. But I thought it would be fun to have Bernie in my library, in my dollhouse over there. So I want to get, we're starting to get in the groove of having places for things, which is kind of cool. It's been an uphill fight. And at that point, I'm going to be in a more relaxed, it'll be easier to access my dollhouse stuff to where I can actually set up my library and have fun with it in my lounge and have fun with it. But I thought it'd be fun to have Bernie in my library. Maybe getting a copy of The Hunger Games or something like that. Something ironically humorous. Yeah, it looks like one hand can kind of grab and the other hand looks like it's sort of pointing. And I keep thinking about like the, not press conferences, the debates, where he was just like, absolutely, I've got something to say. You're a liar, and I want soup. But yeah, now I could probably take them off my watch list because I'm probably just gonna pull them out of the box, which it's cool. That's $8 or $20 that I won't have to spend because I have Bernie. It was bugging me too because I'm like, how did I not get a Bernie? Did I just not get a Bernie? Oh, I have a Fauci as well, who I guess he's about to be inquisited, or is being inquisited, regarding COVID. Here's the thing. I think, honestly, he knows that it came from China and that it probably escaped from a lab in China. This is my theory, anyway. Based on everything, it probably came from the lab right there in China that happens to study, bioviruses and whatnot. That's where a bunch of the early cases were reported. They have a research laboratory right there. I doubt it was on purpose, but it escaping from there accidentally, yeah, that's real likely. I think Fauci even knows it probably came from there. But I also think that in the early days especially, Fauci was probably looking at the political and the biological and saying, look, I know where it probably came from, but we need to not worry about that right now. We need to try and mitigate the damages. I don't give a shit where it came from. It's here. Can we focus on that? And with the people that were in power at that moment, and are again, actually, he was probably thinking, if I tell them, yes, I think it came from there, suddenly we're going to go to war with China, or some other stupid shit. Because, Captain Knee Jerk. We're going to have, Chinese hate. You see where that could go with, Napoleon. Just nothing good will come of that. So don't mention it, say, I don't know where it came from. Let's fix it. And move on. That's my personal theory on it. Do I think it came from Wuhan or whatnot? Yeah. Yeah, because they do have a bio lab right there that studies infectious diseases, and yeah, makes a lot of sense, really. You're right there, Sam. Can I prove it? No, but I had COVID 4 times. It's not cool. It's real. And I do actually know I lost 2 coworkers to it, and I've got a friend that lost 2 family members. I can honestly say I know 4 people physically who died because of COVID. It's not a hoax. Not a hoax. No, and I have another, one of my best friends actually disappeared for 14 days because she was taken to the hospital and basically put on a respirator, one of the ventilators or whatever, and wasn't able to contact anybody. You know, like a week went by and my friend group people are like, hey, has anybody heard from... True story. When she got out, she like hit everybody up and it's like, oh my god, that's where you went. Okay, you didn't die. That's good. Because at that point, I think at that point, I had lost 3 out of the 4. I lost another coworker a little bit later. Yep. Real thing. But knowing where it came from as a populace, who cares? My point being, if you're being, like, shot at, does it matter at that moment where the bullet was manufactured? Does it really matter? Or should the goal in that moment to be to not get hit? And the orange guy's prone to distraction and loudness. It would be real easy to focus a lot on where the bullet came from and not the fact that Americans were getting shot. That's my thought on it. He'd absolutely do that. He would absolutely do that. If you don't believe me, ask the Strait of Hormuz, which I think is closed for business still. Yeah. Man, I'm glad he's in charge. He makes all the good decisions. Anyway, I'm going to go take a shower because I'm a sweaty man. And then I'm going to turn on some Doctor Who. And Doctor Who's going to turn on me. And I'm going to take a nap. And tomorrow, Pix and I are supposed to do some general chill stuff around the house, kind of figure out our game plan, make sure we know what we're doing. Do that whole, okay, next car load, what do we want to get, what do we need to get, make some progress in the master bedroom, that's her project, make some more some more movement on my project of the garage, so that I'm ready for the impact of incoming items, because I've got to get the garage squared away as a cargo hold for us, so we have missions. You're fine. Yeah. Sammy's starting to get on my last nerve here and there. And not just when he does strange things to my leg. Anyway. So, hug your parents. Hug your kids. Work your list. If you don't have to accept an offer that's too low, don't accept an offer that's too low. It's okay to get the value that you feel you deserve. Don't get hustled. Right? And also, Ooh, I just thought about that. I need to keep you away from RFK. Stay here. You're safe. Make it a great day.